You can also change that value by using the increment and the decrement buttons also. Now, if you're in a patch, rhythm, or performance, if you press the value dial, it'll bring up the sound list. With all of the expansion capabilities of your XV, as well as up to 7 connected SCSI devices, you could have hundreds or even thousands of patches to wade through. Well, sound lists are a great way to go through them by name, and actually in conjunction with the patch finder, you can scroll through them in terms of categories of sounds, even save them off to your favorite list. Very, very cool. On the right hand side here, most of the buttons refer to selecting patches and performances. We can be in a number of modes on the XV, and they're listed right here: performance, patch, rhythm, and general MIDI. Let's deal with the first two, performances and patches. The patches are the basic unit of sound within the XV-5080. And performances are a group of patches placed together, either stacked on top of each other or layered, or else used in a multi-timbral fashion, typically when you use your XV with a sequencer. The rhythm button takes you into the rhythm set to either play or edit these rhythm sets. You can assign any of these rhythm sets to the parts and performances. And finally, we have the general MIDI mode. General MIDI is a standard which tries to make it easy for you to play back any general MIDI sequence that you either buy or download over the internet. And here's the traditional problem. If I sequence a song using my MIDI rig, perhaps I have drums on MIDI channel 1 and bass on 2 and piano on 3, where on your system you have, say, drums on channel 10 and your piano on channel 1. Basically, there's no way to kind of line them up. It's almost like throwing a bunch of sheet music into a room full of musicians. Everybody just kind of picks up whatever sheet music is next to them and tries to play that arrangement. Everything's been written down, but there's no real standard about who plays what. Well, General MIDI attempts to solve this problem by placing the drums on a specified channel, that's MIDI channel 10, and also loading up a bunch of programs that follow a General MIDI standard, with all the pianos in one range of program changes and basses in another, and so on and so on. So that if you send it in a program change number 1, it will play back an acoustic piano, or if you send it a program change in the 40s, then it will play back an organ. Pressing the General MIDI button here takes care of all of that problems for you, so you can play back any General MIDI sequence with confidence. There are 4